What in the hell do we have here?
Hey, welcome back to Semper Mechanic. My name's Thomas. Today's job, 2003 Honda Accord. It blew out its axle, lower ball joint snapped off the knuckle, outer tie rod end is bent to hell. So we're gonna go out there, take us a couple hours, make a quick 250 bucks to show you guys how to save some money.
Alright, we're headed to the job now. I just wanted to take a quick moment and tell you guys thanks for all the support and all the new subscribers. Thanks for everything, guys. Alright, here we're on scene with the 2003 Honda Accord. Let's jump into this. Take off the passenger side wheel. First thing what I do is get this axle nut off. I think it was a size 32 millimeter. Once you get that off, you want to push the axle back through. So you can hit it right here and you can see it pushing in. Once the axle gets flush with the rotor, go ahead and grab you a screwdriver, just like this. Put it against the axle and hit the end of the screwdriver and you can push it all the way back through. Remember, this axle's broke, so it'll go all the way through so you can pull it out the other side. And you can see it's broke right there. Alright, grab you a 17 millimeter. We're going to take the upper control arm bolt off and separate the upper control arm. Now we're down here with the outer tie rod end. We're going to separate that from the knuckle. Now we're removing the ABS sensor. It's a 10 millimeter that's going to remove it. I tried to remove it, but as you can see here, I broke it. Was not very happy about this. Alright, we're taking off the caliper here. Once we get the caliper off, I can show you where the lower ball joint, that's where it was, or it's supposed to be, actually broke off. And it's still connected right there. Go ahead and remove this bolt right here, connecting the fork to the lower control arm. Just gives us a little more range of motion once we get this out. Now you can remove the axle the rest of the way out. And as you can see here, the axle was broken half, or broke at the end at least. And the rest of the axle's still in the vehicle. Here we are, we're going to knock out the rest of the lower ball joint that's broke. Go ahead and remove that. Now we're showing you how to do it if you don't have the press. So what we're going to do is we're going to grease this up and make it a lot easier for the new ball joint to go in. Go ahead and put some grease on the ball joint itself. Slide it in place. And you can use the C-clamp to push this down. Now it takes a lot longer, but if you don't have the ball joint press, that's what you can do. Once you have it almost all the way in, now you can get you a big socket and set on top of it and use your hammer and hit it a few times to get it all the way in. Now here's the rest of the axle. We had to use a crowbar and you slide it in there and you just pop it out and you can see it just pop the rest of the way out. Alright, now we're removing the rest of the broken ball joint. Taking the nut off right now, the bottom. Using our hammer and hitting the side of it right here because it's rusted down in it. You want to break that rust seal. Then you can hit it at the bottom and it'll come out just like that. Now we're putting our new axle in. It should go in nice and easy. You push it all the way in. And use your hammer. Hit it 4 or 5 times and it'll lock it in place just like this. You pull on it a little bit to make sure it doesn't come out. Alright, now we're trying to set our new ball joint and the knuckle back into place. So once we got it in there, we're putting the lower ball joint nut on. Just hand tightening it. Now we're pushing the axle all the way through. Gonna put the axle nut on there. Just hand tighten everything right now. Putting this back through, got it lined up. Now it'll take a minute moving things around, like it got stuck at this point. So what we did was we tightened up the lower ball joint, and that gave us a little bit more room to push it all the way through. And then we put the bolt or the nut on that side, tightened it up, reconnecting the upper control arm to the knuckle. Got a hand tight. After that, grabbed a ratchet socket and we went ahead and tightened it the rest of the way down. Got our axle nut, tightened it all the way back down. Now we're taking the caliper, separating it from the caliper bracket. These are 14mm bolts. We remove this so we can put it back on like it was supposed to be. So we're putting the caliper bracket on first. Got the top bolt in, got the bottom bolt in. Using our impact to make it a little bit faster. Snug this down. Now the lower one. I can't remember, it might be a 16 or 17mm socket. Alright, putting the brake pads on. We're just using the same brakes. Customer didn't want to put new pads on. Put the caliper back on. Put the 14mm bolts on and go ahead and tighten them down as well. Once again, if you have an impact, it makes for quick work, but you do not need an impact. You can use regular hand tools. Now you need to go ahead and connect the brake line back to the knuckle. It was held on by 2 or 3 10mm screws. So go ahead and tighten them back down. And I'll just throw your tire on there, tighten them lug nuts down, drop it off the jack. Looked easy, but this was a pretty big job. Took us 2 or 3 hours. I think we made about $250 on it. You can see we replaced a lot of parts. And that's it, guys. I just want to say thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any other videos you'd like to see. Semper Fi till next time.